Okay, we've got some materials here. There's some oak and there's some wengi. I'll show you the wengi over here. This is absolutely beautiful. It's wood that was sent to me over a year ago by a good friend of mine, Steve Jones. And Steve makes, I think, the panhandles, and these are the offcuts. And he sent me it if it was any use for guitars. And it was a wonderful gift. And finally, I've got round to put it through the planer thicknesser, and I've got it all planed up, so we're good to go to start to make a couple of lap styles. There they are. I'm going to make a 4-string and a 3-string lap style, and I'm kind of being influenced by the Chrysler building at the moment, so we'll see what it turns out like. Right, so that's the basic shape I've got. It's made up of English oak and wengi, and I'm looking at kind of an Art Deco type of shape, which is modelled on the Chrysler building. Let's see how it turns out. I'm going to glue them together using the Type Bond premium glue. I want the corners curved on the sections that are going down, and I just used a piece of material there that I had off the lathe, which was a jam chuck piece that I've kept. You could, if you wanted to, just use a jam jar lead or just anything that's round, really, just to be able to curve it round. But I want a nice sweeping curve on there, so I'll mark them all out, and then I'll set up the I'll put the sander on the lathe and I can do them on the lathe. So I'm just using this jam chuck that I've got here just to mark out the curves on there, and I can mark them out on here. Actually, it's probably easier if I take each piece of wood there and mark that like that, rather than lean over. So there we are, marking them like that, and then what I'll do is I'll take them over and I'll sand them round, making sure I've got my mask on and my convac working as well, also my fine filter to make sure that the dust is kept to a minimum. One more, and then we're good to go. There we are. It's easier to do this now than to try and do it after I've glued it up. I've got my mask, got my goggles, and I've got a 120 disc on the paper. I've got the material there, so I can put it flat onto here, round it off to create those nice curves for giving the illusion of it being the building that I want to do it, which is the Chrysler building shape. So I'll set the lathe away. It's running at about 1,000 revs. I've got an extractor here, so I'll just set that away now. You can feel that extracting into there, so round onto here. I could, if I wanted to, put a little bit off on a band saw, but I'll just sand it off, round into there like that. A nice fine curve. There we are, straighten that up. Yeah, I've got a nice curve into there for each one. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take the corners off on there just to speed it up. I'm using my little sabre bandsaw there. I'll take the corners off, and I've got my little light on here just to be able to illuminate where I'm going to be cutting. So that's it all sanded up, ready for gluing up and cramping. I'll set the cramps up, I'll spread the Type Bond on, and then we'll take another little video and photo of it cramped together. So that's it for today. I've got them all glued up with the Type Bond, washed down, cramped up, and you can see there the darker colour of the wengi and the oak. Actually gives you an idea what it'll be like when it's all polished up. So that's it. Let it dry overnight, 24 hours, and then we'll move on to the next stage.